PAX, Journey Home, Chapter 19. For 3 days, Pax and the kit rested at the still pond. Each day, Pax left at twilight to hunt on the other side of the ridge, where there was game, snatching his prey on the run because his skin prickled with anxiety whenever he could not watch over his kit. The kit was restless on the first day. She grew irritable when her father would not allow her to explore, when he insisted on carrying her the short distance to the water. After she drank, he waded into the still pond, and she followed. When cold water circled her neck, she looked up at him, unsure. Pax swam away and then turned back and barked for her. The kit plunged. 1, 2, 3 times she thrashed and went under and came up sputtering. But Pax swam by her side, encouraging her with his calm, and soon she was paddling through the water. On the second day, though, she lay quietly and did not try to leave the nest. He brought her to the pond, and after she'd drunk, Pax urged her to try moving through the water again. She swam listlessly for a while, and then she wanted to be carried back to their nest. On the third day, she barely lifted her head off the prickly boughs. That day, Pax found no game, even across the ridge. He hurried back and nudged his daughter awake. "It is time to move on." She rose and blinked in the clear rays of the afternoon sun, but then crumpled onto her side, her left hind leg twitching. Puzzled, Pax checked her over thoroughly. Her paws had healed. He could find no other injuries. He urged her up. "It is not safe here any longer. We will swim across the pond to leave no trail." She got up again and staggered after her father to the shore. It did not take long to cross the small pond, but when she reached the shore, the little fox collapsed where she landed and closed her eyes. Pax shook his fur dry and climbed onto a broad rock to read the wind. Drifting from the east, it brought news from the river just a short run away. Fair weather, no grass fires, but a campfire. And a shock. His boy was near. Peter, gone from him over a year. Peter, whom he loved for most of his life and then learned to live without, was near. Pax stilled himself, concentrated, and confirmed. Yes, his boy was at the river with another human, maybe 2. His thigh muscles tightened when the old urge to run to him, as though no time has passed, but he held back, 'cause time had passed. There had been a long stretch of it, all through the last summer, when Pax had expected Peter to return for him and bring him home. But that had faded with the summer warmth, and by fall he'd come to understand that his home was with Bristle, wherever it was that she felt safe. And when he'd settled in the deserted farm with her, he'd stopped watching for Peter completely. The breeze freshened. A new sweet sense, mingled with the smell of wood fire and of his boy, triggered a memory. When he'd been very young, Pax had gone with Peter and his father to live in the woods for a few days in a small cloth house by a stream. His boy's father had built a fire and they'd cooked food, and Peter had shared his food with Pax. Later, the humans had held sticks over the coals, and a warm, sweet smell, strange but appealing, had arisen from their white tips, and Pax had watched Peter and his father eat the good-smelling white tips. Tempted, Pax had darted in and snatched up a stick Peter had laid on a stone beside him. He had yelped, surprised at how hot the marshmallow was, smeared over his snout. And his boy had leaped up, stripped off his shirt, and soaked it in the stream, then held the cool cloth over Pax's muzzle, soothing him and hugging him. Pax had felt safe and loved. Peter drew in the wind again. He found the scent of the boy he missed, and he decided. He bounded over to his daughter and nudged her awake. "We are leaving now. It is not far to the river." She rose, but he could see that she was still exhausted from the swim across the pond. He would have to carry her, and to travel encumbered that way he would need the benefit of light. He led her to a clump of dried blue-stemmed grass. "Rest now. We will leave at dawn."